So as of February 4, 2025, Warhorse Studio has released Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the sequel to Kingdom Come Deliverance. And, as we know, up until the game's release, we've had many leaks which had led us to the conclusion that what had otherwise been regarded as an historically accurate portrayal of Bohemia in 1403 had begun to integrate elements of pop post-modernity, or what has colloquially been referred to as woke elements. And prominent among these elements was the option of pursuing a homosexual relationship with a boy named Hans Capon. And yes, Hans is only 15 years old in this game. Now I can already hear you coping. According to Hans' biography, which one can also read in the first game, Hans was born in 1388 AD. Now, the second game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, is set in 1403. This means the second game's setting would put Hans at 15 years old. Note also that Hans' character is also based on an actual Bohemian noble who lived during that time period. Hans Capon was a real person. Now, for anyone out of the loop, here is Daniel Vavra, creative director of Kingdom Come Deliverance and of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And he's been acting the fool on X, picking fights with various people criticizing him for his historical revisionism, in addition to all the woke elements he has put into his game. As of yet, however, I've seen very few people directly call out Daniel Vavra for the fact that the homosexual relationship that he has included in this game involves a player character, Henry of Skalitz, having sexual relations with the boy, Hans Capon, who, I will remind you, is 15 years old. Are you still coping? Now, Daniel Vavra, creative director of Kingdom Come Deliverance and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, once wore a #based shirt at one point in time. Oh, he was a darling among the gaming community. And what's he doing now? Well, he's busy trying to argue why 12-year-old girls being and married off in the 1400s somehow justifies portraying a 15-year-old in a gay sexual relationship. Now, anyone who wants to question the validity of any of this is welcome to check out the description below this video and look at all the archive posts and articles regarding what should definitely be a terms of service violation on Steam. And that evidence also includes the information provided to us by the first game, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, to elaborate a bit more on the nature of this scandal, the scene where Henry and Hans engage in homosexual relations also does show nudity and sex. So let me spell this out for you, just to clear up any confusion as to why Daniel Vavra is spurging out on X and why there is an absolute show on social media surrounding this game's release. The reason for that is because these geniuses, absolute geniuses, wanted to appease a group of people who are only able to derive any value in their lives by sucking each other off. And that has resulted in them manufacturing a homosexual relationship with a 15-year-old boy. Are you still coping? Now, what's even funnier about all this is how Warhorse snuck this into their game, and they got a lot of people online defending it without looking any deeper into it. And the fact of the matter is, if Warhorse had wanted to, they could have made a brand new character, an adult character. And Vavra still could have had his optional gay sex scene in his project. But no, they deliberately took a pre-existing character with his own defined history and values and bent that character according to their values. So you know what this is? This is Daniel Vavra's fetish, and one that he inflicted on the rest of the internet. This is really why he's out and about spurging on X. He knows what's up. So, again, go back to the first game. It's revealed that the character, Hans Capon, was born in 1388. And as we know, the second game takes place in 1403. This means that Hans is a 15-year-old boy in the second game. And yes, the game does allow the player character, Henry, to have sexual relations with Hans, Full nudity. Are you still coping? Now, as many of you are aware, many commentators on social media, including personalities on YouTube, on Twitch, on X, and elsewhere, have avidly supported this game. Not everybody, but a lot of people have. And they've also insisted it is not woke. Now, you know who these people are. Many of them still insist that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not woke, and some are still on the fence. But as I said before, many of them have yet to notice the fact that the homosexual relationship in the game is indeed with a 15-year-old boy. In fact, IGN has provided a video guide on how to romance this 15-year-old, and they reposted it on X at least 3 times. So they're basically mocking you at this point. They're saying, hey gamers, look what we got away with. We gave you the option of having a homosexual relationship with a 15-year-old boy, and we got you to approve of it, because it was optional, gamers! Now, I have seen some who have suggested that the game's inclusion of a homosexual relationship with a 15-year-old boy would also be a violation of Steam's terms of service, which supposedly bans such depictions. In fact, those depictions are illegal in multiple countries, which also explains, by the way, why this game was banned in Saudi Arabia, while a game like Baldur's Gate 3 was not. It wasn't because of the homosexuality, it was because of the pedophilia. However, as of now, the game is still available to download on Steam, and I would love to know the justification for that. So, in conclusion, they did it. They finally did it. The industry finally snuck in a scenario where you can have a sexual relationship with a minor, and millions of people bought the game none the wiser. And there's still so many people who want to insist that the pendulum has swung on the whole culture war thing going on. No, there is no pendulum swing. Don't you see? The wokesters won. They have turned everyone into barbarians. You see, because you were all so concerned about being called homophobic and intolerant, you didn't even realize there was a child involved. Oh, but that's right. Oh, I guess it was all optional, right? So it's fine. I mean, it's fine. You just press buttons, right? Now, at times I've seen it said that the end game for most, if not all, sexual degeneracy is to have sex with children. And the push for that is to destigmatize it. And what better way to destigmatize it than through propaganda? So what these wokesters did was to insert a homosexual relationship in a video game and make everyone afraid of criticizing it lest they be called homophobic. But how many people thought to ask, how old is this person? Now, fortunately, there are still a number of people in the world who really do not care if you call them homophobes. But for anyone who does and wants desperately to run cover for a woke product for whatever reasons, just think about what you're defending. Daniel Vavra and his buddies at Warhorse gleefully inflicted their own sexual proclivities onto a product that they knew you were going to play. And even knowing what the game contained, many gamers still nodded yes in approval. And given the success of the game so far, the reality we are facing is that a homosexual relationship with a minor is a foot in the door. It's a sign that such behavior can and will be tolerated moving forward. And if you are still trying to make excuses for this, your judgment is compromised. Any excuse you make means you don't really care about what's right and what's wrong. Any excuse that you make is a clear and unabashed indication that you are morally compromised.